As the 2024 election season heats up, Arizona, traditionally known as a Republican stronghold, is witnessing an unexpected and dramatic political shift. Once the proud home of the late Senator John McCain, a symbol of honor and integrity within the GOP, Arizona now finds itself at the heart of a growing rebellion against Donald Trump's version of the Republican Party. McCain voters, a crucial voting bloc, alongside supporters of rising GOP figure Nikki Haley, are increasingly turning their backs on Trump, casting doubts over his dominance in this pivotal state. With Trump's ongoing insults toward McCain's legacy and dismissive attitude toward Haley, the former president is watching his support erode in a state that was once firmly in his corner. This video explores the profound political realignment happening on the ground in Arizona, focusing on how McCain and Haley voters are reshaping the political landscape and what it means for Trump's future in the state. 1. The legacy of John McCain and the Arizona GOP. Arizona has long been synonymous with John McCain's brand of republicanism. As a war hero, a maverick, and a statesman, McCain represented a more moderate, principled approach to politics, often standing in stark contrast to Trump's brash style. Despite McCain's death in 2018, his influence over Arizona's electorate remains strong, particularly among the state's older, more traditional Republican voters. These voters respected McCain's commitment to bipartisanship and his willingness to challenge his party when necessary. Trump, however, has repeatedly insulted McCain both during and after his presidency. His infamous remark that McCain was not a war hero because he was captured during the Vietnam War angered many in Arizona. Even after McCain's death, Trump continued to belittle his legacy, creating a deep rift between Trump and a significant portion of Arizona's GOP base. As the 2024 election approaches, this rift is widening, with many McCain loyalists refusing to support Trump, a shift that could have serious repercussions for the former president's campaign in the state. 2. Nikki Haley's rise and the discontent among GOP voters. While Trump continues to dominate headlines, Nikki Haley, the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, has emerged as a formidable figure within the Republican Party. Her appeal to more moderate Republicans, women, and younger voters has made her a popular alternative to Trump's divisive rhetoric. In Arizona, Haley has gained significant traction, particularly among suburban voters and independents who are disillusioned with Trump's leadership. Trump's attacks on Haley have only fueled her rise. During a recent interview with Fox and Friends, Trump was asked if he would reach out to Haley for support in the final stretch of the campaign. Instead of extending an olive branch, Trump boasted about defeating her in the primaries and dismissed her candidacy, further alienating Haley's supporters. This antagonistic approach has driven a wedge between Trump and a growing segment of the GOP that is ready to move beyond the Trump era. 3. The Mormon vote and its impact on Arizona's political landscape. Arizona's sizable Mormon community has historically leaned Republican, with many supporting Trump in 2016 and 2020. However, recent developments suggest that this once reliable voting bloc is becoming increasingly divided. Prominent Mormon figures, including Mesa Mayor John Giles and former Senator Jeff Flake, have publicly endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris in the 2024 race, signaling a significant shift in political allegiance. The Mormon community, known for its emphasis on character and family values, has become disillusioned with Trump's abrasive style and moral failings. His vulgar language, disrespect for women, and authoritarian tendencies have alienated many within this deeply religious group. Trump's campaign has attempted to win back these voters with overtures such as selling Latter-day Saints for Trump merchandise, but these efforts have largely fallen flat. Instead, the endorsements of Harris by key Mormon leaders are swaying a significant portion of the community away from Trump and toward the Democratic ticket, further weakening his support in Arizona. 4. The role of Proposition 139, women's reproductive rights as a defining issue. Another major factor contributing to Trump's struggles in Arizona is Proposition 139, a ballot initiative that seeks to enshrine the right to abortion in the state constitution. The proposition has garnered massive support, with nearly 900,000 Arizona voters signing a petition to place it on the ballot, an unprecedented level of grassroots engagement. The right to abortion is a deeply divisive issue in Arizona, particularly in the wake of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. While Trump's base remains staunchly anti-abortion, the proposition has galvanized a broad coalition of voters, including independents, moderates, and suburban women who are determined to protect reproductive rights. The Trump campaign's hardline stance on abortion is alienating these voters, many of whom previously supported McCain or Haley, but are now rallying behind Proposition 139. This issue could prove decisive in a state where elections are often decided by razor-thin margins. 5. The Latino vote, a complex and evolving dynamic. Arizona's growing Latino population has long been viewed as a key battleground for both parties. In 2020, Latinos played a crucial role in Joe Biden's narrow victory in the state. However, recent polls suggest that Trump has made inroads with Latino voters, particularly among those who value traditional family roles and economic conservatism. Trump's tough stance on immigration, combined with his appeal to working-class voters, has resonated with some segments of the Latino community. That said, Trump's rhetoric and policies on issues like immigration and deportation remain deeply unpopular with many Latino voters, especially younger generations who are more progressive on social issues. Vice President Harris has made a concerted effort to reach out to Latino voters in Arizona, conducting town halls on Univision and focusing on issues like healthcare, education, and immigration reform. While Trump has some support among older, more conservative Latinos, Harris's outreach is helping to solidify the Democratic Party's hold on this critical voting bloc. 6. The Gen Z surge. A new generation of voters rejects Trump. One of the most significant and underreported trends in Arizona is the surge of younger voters, particularly Gen Z, who are registering to vote in record numbers. These voters, many of whom are voting for the first time, are overwhelmingly progressive and deeply opposed to Trump's brand of politics. Issues like climate change, gun control, and racial justice are motivating factors for this generation, and they are turning out in droves to support candidates who align with their values. In 2020, Biden won Arizona by just over 10,000 votes, and the surge in Gen Z voters could prove decisive in 2024. Polling has consistently underestimated the impact of young voters, many of whom do not participate in traditional polling methods. As these voters become a larger share of the electorate, their influence could tip the scales in favor of the Democrats, particularly in swing states like Arizona. As the 2024 election approaches, Arizona is shaping up to be one of the most fiercely contested battlegrounds in the country. Once a reliable Republican stronghold, the state is now in play, with McCain loyalists, Haley supporters, and a diverse coalition of voters turning away from Trump. From the Mormon community's growing disenchantment with Trump's rhetoric to the overwhelming support for Proposition 139, the forces aligned against Trump in Arizona are formidable. Moreover, the Latino vote and the Gen Z surge are reshaping the political landscape in ways that could have long-term implications for both parties. While Trump still enjoys significant support among his base, the cracks in his coalition are becoming more apparent, and the outcome in Arizona could hinge on whether these disaffected voters decide to back him or stay home. In the end, Arizona's shifting political dynamics reflect a broader realignment within the Republican Party and the country as a whole. As Trump faces growing opposition from within his own party, the question remains, can he hold on to Arizona Or will the Grand Canyon state be the site of his next great political humiliation? The answer could determine the outcome of the 2024 election.